So our new radio uses a USB-C, this guy right here, not the old standard USB. In this video, we're going to show you how to make a panel that goes in here and houses this USB. For this, we're gonna need a set of calipers. I like the smaller set for this. We're gonna need our angle finders for the corner, and of course a pad of paper and a pen to write down some note. Here is our old one. And the old one is, let's say, 88 across. But if we come to this, we'll see that this is actually like 92 across. We want it to be this size here because we want our piece to fit in nice and tight. Once you've taken this piece out, we really don't need it anymore because we're gonna use this to measure it, is what I'm getting at. The first thing is finding the top surface here, which we're gonna play around a little bit, and we have basically 92.8, 93. So for this first one, we'll put 0.928. We'll measure this way to 134. The other measurements we need to take off are the back side. This gives us 69.6, and then the length 1.12. And if you're looking at this, let's say if this was a 5, then you'd want to round that up to, 1.13. That gives us the math for this shape here. The next is to take your corner tool and try to figure out what the corner radius is. These are great for doing that. However, you can use your printer to make your own, which I have done. This allows me to come in and I make them small like this, and I just put their numbers on them, and I can put them into the corner. And so this one is, this is 0.1, and that looks pretty good. Next up is 0.11. I think I like the 0.1 better. Let's go up one more, see if we can find 0.12. What I'm looking at is this gap right here between. This is 125, and that's not very good. I'm gonna go back to the 1 and just push it into the corner. Yeah, definitely want a radius of 0.1. Now for this, I am using inches. Use whatever you're comfortable with. That gives us the math to start designing our shape. So let's get over to the design software and start putting these numbers in. The first thing we need is a simple drawing tool in order to create this. Now everyone is gonna have their drawing tool of choice that they like. You can use Corel Draw, you can use X Tool, which is free. You can use the Bamboo Draw tool, which is free. Links are in DNF tool drawer to download those free versions of those apps. You could draw this in Tinkercad. They're again a free app. That is made by Fusion, or you could just use Fusion. This, because I'm an Apple user, I use an app called Amadine, and you could also use Illustrator from Adobe if you have an Illustrator. You don't need a 3D app to do this. You just need an app that you can do 2D in, and I'll explain as we go. With your app open, the first thing I recommend doing is saving wherever that is in your app, and we'll call this Toyota USB-C. Grab the square tool and drop a square anywhere on your surface. I like to use the alignment tool to put it directly in the center of the page. The other thing is, don't worry about the size yet, and also if you have the option to grab a square or rectangle that has rounded sides, don't do that. The reason why is some of those do not allow you to turn them back into a square if you want to. We don't need the fill on, we just need the stroke, which is the line around the outside for right now. Type in the dimensions that we took, both width and height. In this case, we had a width of 0.928, and we had a height of 1.34. In some applications, they want you to maintain the same aspect ratio. You want to make sure you shut that off. The next step I like to do is I'm going to copy this shape and I'm going to paste this shape into the same spot. If I hold Shift Command V, that will put the shape on top of the old shape. So if I shut one off, I can see it's still there. If I change the color, let's make this one red, and I turn this off. So there's my red one, there's my black one. Grab the new one, and we want to add in the dimensions for the back side of this, which is 0.696 and 1.12. And there we have the basic shapes that we need. Next, highlight the front face. If you click in the corners, or there is a highlight tool, this will pull up these, and you'll have these little drag downs that allow you to add in your corner radius. I'm going to do 0.1. Even though we don't need them on the back side, I'm going to put a very slight radius on them just to make it easier to slide in. So we'll call that 0.05. And that gives us our basic shape that we need. The next thing we need to know is this. How wide is our USB gonna be? In this case, we have 0.284. We have a height 0.49. The last thing I copied was the outside shape. So if I hit Shift Command V again, it's gonna give me another one stacked on top. And if I put in the new dimensions that I just got, 0.49, I have a new micro square. Select my corners and pull them all the way in. If I look at this particular USB-C, I could see that the corners are perfectly round. So by dragging my corners all the way in, I will have a perfectly round shape. That gives us our basic 2D shape. What we have to do now is make this something that a 3D printer will do. Depending on the software you're using, you want to fill these in. The first thing I need to do is copy my USB. I'm just gonna have a backup of that. And in a lot of cases, what I like to do is add a whole nother layer. I'll select the whole thing and copy that onto that layer and then just turn that layer off. So I have it as a backup. If I screw something up, it makes it easier to go through. Really just depends on the software you're using. Grab my top layer. I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna label that top, and then I'm gonna label the next one bottom. And I'm gonna turn off the stroke and now turn on the fill. If I select the back shape, which is highlighted now, and the USB, I need to merge these shapes into one. There's a couple different ways I can do that. The first is if I grab my Boolean tool, which is located, it's a square inside of a square, and when you open it, it gives you some different options. And usually just look at them and it'll give you an idea. In this case, I want exclude. When using the Boolean tool, one of the things you have to keep in mind, it is going to look at how you've set these two paths up in your order. You want whatever the remainder is, which is we want this to stay, but we want this USB hole to appear in the center of it. So I have to stack what we call bottom on top of what we want to remove, which is the USB-C. Now we go to Boolean, we select extract, and we've done it. We now have that USB-C hole, and we've created a compound vector for that. We can see the two parts that we have inside of here. And if the stroke is still on for the path, make sure to turn that off. You don't need that anymore. And that gives you a simple way to create a object with a hole in the center. Now, in most applications, there's more than one way to do something. And in this case, if I just select both and I come over and I select combine, I can just draw a line in the area I want to keep. And then if you'll notice on the side here, it created all of this stuff. If I uncheck the stuff I don't want, there I have the same piece that I created using the Boolean tool, and I can uncheck stroke, and I end up with the exact same spot that I was. So either method will get you to the same place. The 3D printer doesn't care. It just wants to see this. We're gonna repeat the same process doing the top piece. We can select all, draw a slight arc, turn off all the stuff we're not going to use, make sure to turn off the stroke, and we'll change the color so that it is different from the bottom. Now I can't see the bottom because the top layer is sitting on top of it, so I turn it off. There it is. Now the last thing that I want to do before I export this out, this is something you're going to have to play with using your software and your printer. I know that I have to scale this up by 0.02 in order for it to print the right size, because there's some shrinkage in everything. Turn back on maintain proportions, this little guy right here, and then I'm going to change this 2 to a 4. Scaled it up a little bit. So the two files that you want to export are the top layer and the bottom layer. I like to put them next to each other in my export. Doesn't matter though. File, export, select SVG, export. The title should be the same. Now launch your Bamboo or your Slicer software. Create new project, select add, put a USB-C, open. And it's created this little box here in the center of the page that really isn't all that exciting. One other dimension we need is the depth of this area here. And to do that, the calipers have this little pin that comes out of the bottom. Simply take your calipers, push the pin down so that it is stuck inside, and then push your calipers flat into the shape like so. And now you can take your measurement, and this says 0.376. We don't want it to be perfectly flush, we want it to be inset just a hair, so we're going to call that 0.36. The next is to get the depth of the back piece here. We can do the same thing, putting our finger there to hold it. In this case, it is 0.276. We want that one to be a little deeper, so we'll call that just 0.3 because we want it to come past this area just a little bit so we can have an edge to add glue or to weld into place or however you plan on doing it. If you look closely, you can see this little outline of a square. Click on it. The first little highlight is the square on the inside. We can come over to our scale tool, turn off uniform scale, and we want to type in 0.30, which is the height that we want it to be. And next, we select on the top layer, and we want that to be 0.36. And it still looks like a blob. At this point, we have to understand how bamboo assembles things. And whatever the bottom piece is gonna be, in this case, it's 0.3. Then we have the top piece, which is 36. In bamboo, or for most slicers, you want to work in even numbers because you're going to have to align the bottom piece on top of the top piece. And it doesn't align to the bottom or to the top, it aligns to the center. What I mean by that is 36 divided by 2 is 18. So we need to take 18, add that to 30, which is 48. We're going to grab the move tool here, and the Z-axis, type in 0.48. And now we'll see our piece pop into place. And what we've ended up with, if we close this, is our USB. Copy and paste a second one, select our surface tool, and make the bottom the top. Now we have a bottom and a top, and you're like, why am I doing that? Well, it's gonna get more strange. Right click and add a primitive. And we want a cube. Now if I look at the top, I'm going to take this cube and I click the scale key. I want it to be big enough to cover the tops of these. I can move it into place. I need to join all of these together, so we need to select the merge tool. So shift, click on all three, right click, merge. Now what that's done is that's turned them all into one piece. And the reason why I want to do that is now I can take my position tool and I want to lift it up just enough where I just have the bottom like 1/8 of an inch. And if I right click on it, I can scroll down here where it says change type, and I'm going to make this a negative part. And what that has done is now it looks like this, and if I slice it, all I'm going to see is those two pieces. The reason why I want to do this is because I want to test fit it without printing a full part, and the lower I make that negative part, the less it's going to print. This, if I select line type, come down here, this is going to take 15 minutes to print this. If I select less, it'll be faster, but that'll give us at least a good working area. So I select print. Now while that unit is printing, let's take a look at doing the same using the X tool software. For that, go up here to the side and grab a rectangle, drop that in the center, and then up top here, turn off the locked aspect ratio, type in our measurements, 0.928 and 1.34. And then right here, we have the radius tool, 0.1. Then we have the align tool. We'll align this to center and align it to vertical center. Need another rectangle. Make that one the back, which is 0.696. Turn off the aspect and 1.12. Then make the radius 0.05. And then align to center. And then we need one more rectangle, this time the little one, which is 284 and 0.49. Radius on this, we'll put 50, and then align to center. And now we have that same shape drawn here. Select copy, and we want to paste that, paste. We'll align that back in. And for this, we're going to switch this to engrave. We're going to grab one of those. The easiest way to do that is to open your layer dialog box and grab the two of those. With those two selected, come over to Boolean or combine and hit exclude. That will give us our first. Grab our rectangle here, hit engrave, and grab our other round over piece and do the same thing. Come to combine, hit exclude. And so now what we have is we have the back piece, we have the front piece. Come up to main menu, file, export, change it to an SVG, hit confirm, and we'll enable this XT panel so we know which one it is and hit save. And that'll give us the same piece that we drew in Amadine, but now we drew it in Xtool. So pick the application that you like and get designing. I'm gonna go see if our part is done so we can test fit it into our piece. And with the magic of video, our pieces are done getting printed. Our front piece, take it, fit it in, and it fits, but it is a little loose. However, the back piece is super nice and tight. It still goes in, but it goes in nice and snugly. That will, when this is all one piece, allow this to pull in super tight and stay put. Might not even need glue, but we are gonna put some in just to be safe. Unfortunately, it's not a total win. The USB, turns out it's a little smaller. It happens, probably some shrinkage. Taking our calipers, coming in, we have 0.49, which is what we set it to. And we'll take a look at what we got here. We got 0.46, so it shrunk vertically by 0.03. And then we'll check our width. We have 0.284. The distance horizontal wise is perfect. It's just a little short from the top to bottom. So there's a couple different ways we can fix this. We could go back to the master drawing and we could redraw this shape here and export it back out, redo the whole bamboo thing. Or another way we could do it is just go back to those files we saved and we'll add in the 0.03 and we'll fill it, make sure our line is off, and we're just gonna export this one shape as an SVG. Now we'll go back to our unit and I'm gonna move my cube out of the way. I'm gonna delete the one shape. I'm gonna hit the add desktop, select open, and it has imported a new piece. And if we right click on it, center it into place, grab our dimension tool, and we'll pull up on it. And then this is where it gets fun. We have Boolean built into Bamboo. Select the assembly, and then right here you have the two squares overlapping, and I'm going to delete the cube out of here so I have the two pieces, and we'll select execute under the union tab, and that will make that one solid piece now. Over here on the side it says Boolean, and it's created a new name for it. We'll return that, and now we have our new shape, and if we select all of these, we see the Boolean is highlighted, and we want to do subtraction. And if we hit execute, we've just made that hole bigger without having to do a whole bunch of redesign. If we select this and we grab our measuring tool, we can check the side there, spin it around. 52. 52 is our new measurement. So the cube we don't need anymore. We can delete that. We'll select our layer face, flip it over, select slice. The whole print is going to take 19 minutes. And there we have it. That'll go off and print. New dimensions in place. It'll give us one solid piece. We could slide it all together. So we have it fresh off the printer, our final piece. It should fit in there nice and tight. We don't want it to fall out. We are going to put a little bit of glue on the backside just to make sure that it doesn't do that. But there we have it. Now we have our new USB-C. This cable here will slide in from behind and we'll be all set. There you go, guys. We hope you enjoyed this learning how to design. This is the first one of these we've done. Let us know in the comments anything you want us to know. Projects you want us to work on, something you didn't understand. We'll get back to you on that. But for right now, that's it. Fernando.
On to the next one, guys.
You guys have a great day as always, and we'll see you there next time.
Bye.